everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If this is your first time tuning in, my name is Marie with Modern Day Vet Podcast, where we bridge the gap between military service and the civilian sector, hopefully making it easier for you to do your transition. All right, so what do we want to discuss today? Today, we're going to discuss New York State veteran benefits. I know a lot of people, there's a big hype of moving to Texas or Florida because they're the bigger military-friendly states and they make it a lot easier for you to move there because of just all the stuff they provide. But surprisingly, New York actually provides a good amount of stuff. People don't really talk about it because New York is more expensive. But upon doing my research, which you would think I would have done when I first moved to New York, they provide a lot of information. So we're just going to kind of touch the tippy top of it. There's going to be a lot more stuff that you need to do your own due diligence and do your own research if you decide to move to New York, if you're originally from here. I don't think people that are veterans move to New York just to do it. It's typically the people that have family here and are originally from here. And if I didn't have family here, I probably wouldn't be here either. I would be in Texas. However, I am in New York, so we're going to fucking talk about New York benefits because it benefits me. And hopefully it benefits a few people. I've been seeing a lot of veteran plates. So there's obviously veterans here. They're hiding, but they're here. So let's discuss some veteran benefits. It's quite a bit. I'm not going to discuss everything just because I am not proficient in all the information. Some information is confusing. I'll probably just briefly discuss it. And if it's important to you, you can leave a comment down below. You could reach out to me and we could research it together. Or you could do your own research and just see like, hey, how does this benefit me? How does this work for me and stuff like that? So first thing we're going to start with is the Lifetime Liberty Pass. What is the Lifetime Liberty Pass? It is the National Park Pass. Don't get it confused. There's two different ones. So the Lifetime Liberty Pass is the one just for veterans. And you also need to have a disability rating for, I think, over 40%. Now, the National Military Park Pass, that's for all military. So it's active duty. It's for veterans if you don't have any service-connected disabilities, and National Guards as well. And that's an annual thing. If I'm not mistaken, the Lifetime Liberty Pass is something, obviously a life pass that you have in New York State. Not sure if it's in every state. However, we're talking about New York today anyway. So Lifetime Liberty Pass. So if you like camping, if you like fishing, it has access to a lot of the state parks that are in this area. I really like camping, so I'm going to try to use it this year. I haven't signed up for it yet, but I need to. And let me just I think I have the website pulled up. So the regulations are you need to have a New York State driver's license and you are the person that's driving the car. So if you have somebody else driving the car and you're like, hey, I have my pass, they're probably not going to let you in. You can't. Don't abuse the pass. The pass is for you. And I think you could bring people alongside of the car as well. Now, if you are an adventurous person, some parks are like $20 to get into. And that adds up quick, especially during the spring or summertime, fall. Right now it's winter, so I don't really want to be outside. But when the springtime hits, I definitely want to hit up some hiking spots and camping spots. And you get a free lifetime pass for it. It does not pay for camping. So I'll tell you what the pass includes. It's just a quick little free things. Free entrance of your personal vehicle or van to state historic sites. Discounted on campsites. It's not going to be completely free, but there is discounts on campsites and cabin rentals. Free swimming lessons, tennis lessons, and skiing. I have no interest in skiing. And I was actually having a conversation with my friend the other day. I could just be traumatized because we used to be a super to a building growing up in Mount Vernon, New York. So as children, we helped our parents clean up the apartments after the people moved out. They're now called property managers, and now they don't do shit. But back then we used to do everything. Like we cleaned up the apartments. After the people moved out, we repainted it. We took out all the fucking trash that they left. We took out the weekly trash for the whole fucking building. And we shoveled when it snowed, which was it's very often. So I have it's not love-hate, it's a hate relationship with snow. So for someone to be on vacation and do some shit with the snow is just not something I do. My mom was laughing. I was like, Ma, I will never fucking pay to be somewhere cold, to go skiing. No, I will pay for the sun, but I'm never going to pay for the snow. That's just not going to happen. And like I said, it could be PTSD from shoveling when I was like fucking 7 of a building that we were property managers, but they're called supers. I think it could be a New York thing. I've never heard of any other state refer to a property manager as a super, but I fucking hate snow. So, but if you like snow, you can go to skiing for free. Let me know how it goes. If you bust your ass, that's on you. Nobody told you to go out in the snow. All right. What is another disability benefit? And a lot of these things, keep in mind that I'm just referring to New York State. So you also have your federal benefits, and obviously whatever state you're in, some stuff might be similar, or you may even have better things, which is also a good benefit for you. So New York State has 6 national cemeteries. I think last week or maybe 2 weeks ago, I discussed the federal benefit of the VA giving you, I think it's up to $450 for if you pass away, and up to $2,000 if you pass away with your service-connected disability. And then on top of that, New York State will also give you funds as well for the funeral, because like I said, funerals aren't cheap. And then they also have, I don't think I have it pulled up. It might be in Albany or something. They have a cemetery that, if I'm not mistaken, you can actually be placed in for free because it's a veteran cemetery. But don't quote me on that. As this podcast comes out, I'll do more research and I'll see the actual official things. That's why I kind of just want to touch on certain topics that I'm a little bit more familiar about. And then we'll talk about certain things that's a little bit more brief. And then you could look into it if it's something that benefits you for living in New York State, or if you're, who knows, if you even want to move to New York State or come to school here. So we talked about the Liberty Pass. We talked about the cemetery. There is property tax exemptions. Once again, I'm not too familiar with it, but there's 3 different categories. One of the categories is if you served in the Cold War, if you have expeditionary medal, and if I'm not mistaken, you have to be over 40% as well. But let me look it up because we're right here on the computer and we could do like a little sit and chat type of thing. There are 3 different type of property tax exemptions that are available to veterans who serve in the armed forces. Some stuff I'm going to read verbatim. As we become adults, I don't think plagiarism is a thing. I think it's just a thing for college. I'm not sure. But some shit I am going to be reading verbatim. And if it's plagiarism, so be it. Just don't sue me, whatever. Alternative veteran exemption, which I think it's going to correlate with a lot of people now, because I don't think I know much people that served in the Cold War. But if you did and you're still alive, thank you for your service. And eligible funds exemption. So it's all based on your county, city, town, and village taxes. For the most part, you're still going to kind of be stuck paying school taxes. Some schools may exempt it, but you need to be, I would go to your county clerk and specify like, hey, I'm a veteran. Do you have more information on the tax exemptions that could qualify me? That's a new word. I'm going to see if I can put that in the dictionary. So, go to your county clerk and see what they say. Now, I'm going to give you my personal example. I currently live with my mom. I obviously can't go to the county clerk and say, hey, what are the tax exemptions for me? Because the house isn't under my name. It's under my mom's name. So if I did kind of want to do that, I would have to put the house under my name, or at least try to add my name to the house and see if we could qualify for any property exemptions. And I mean, that would be nice. I know certain states like Texas, they make it a lot easier and you don't have to redo it annually, and you can do it once and then you don't have to pay taxes the whole fucking time. I don't know about their school taxes, but you won't have to pay property tax. The same thing with Florida. Schooling. So I was surprised. They actually have a good amount of schooling stuff. So keep in mind, you already have your post 9/11 GI Bill. So that's 36 months already right there. So let's say you get out and you don't know what you want to do, which is a good percentage of people that come out the military, and that's very normal. And I feel like these benefits provide us so much spaces for us to just explore. And if you want to spend 10 years exploring, as long as your bills are paid and you're not being a fucking menace to society, do it. Like, explore your life for the next 10 years. It doesn't matter if you're 50, doesn't matter if you're 60, doesn't matter if you're 40. Like, if you want to explore for 10 years, go to school for 10 years and they're just like, oh, you went to school for 10 years and you only have a few associates. So what? I was exploring different degrees. I don't really know what I want to do. And now I'm knowledgeable in a lot of different fields. And to be honest, like, it's definitely more about who you know and your experiences. So that's very, very important. And don't undermine the experiences you have in the military as well. Because when I got out, a lot of stuff that the military taught me, I thought was very, very annoying and repetitive. But it's something that I would say a lot of people don't have instilled in them. And it's something not to take for granted. So I definitely don't take that for granted, like the ethic and the work way of the work structure and waking up early and being on time for stuff. It goes a long way. It goes a very long way. You'll be surprised. Tuition. So you have the GI Bill. That's not a state benefit. That's a federal benefit. So you have the GI Bill. That's 36 months. 36 months right there. You have BAH as well. And it'll be E5 dependent pay for the zip code that you're going to be in your school. Now, if you go to school online full time, it's going to be a huge pay cut. I think it's 50% of the national average. But one thing I didn't know, I had called one of the schools because of vocational rehab. That's a whole nother benefit. You get vocational rehab as well. And let's say you want to go to school for a certain job, they will pay BAH for as long as you have that schooling for. So that's another addition of another 36 months, another 4 years. It could be a long time, and they'll still pay BAH as well. So you don't need to get out automatically and look for a job. There's a lot of different ways to skin the cat. And I'm an animal lover. That kind of hurts me. But that's the only thing I could think of right now. But New York State, if you join out of New York State and your permanent state of residence is New York State, they actually pay for an undergraduate degree as well. So I know that the GI Bill will only pay for one type of degree. For example, you can't get 2 associate's degrees. They'll only pay for 1 associate's degree, and then you need to go to bachelor's and master's. Now, let's say you have an associate's degree, but you decide to completely change career fields. And you're just like, the credits I have, the general studies are going to transfer, but everything else, it's not. For example, my background is medical. If I want to go into the IT field, only the general studies is going to transfer. Radiology, anatomy, or all that stuff, that's not going to transfer to IT. So I pretty much have an associate's degree, but it's not going to help me in IT at all. Like, it'll just be basically like the English, math, and maybe 1 or 2 electives, but you have to start all over again. Now, granted, you don't need to start with an associate's. You could start straight into a bachelor's. Growing up, I fucking hated school. And even in the military, I hated college as well. So me trying to get into the college space right now, I'm intimidated. So I don't know if I even want to start with a bachelor's program. I think I want to start with an undergraduate. I don't even know if bachelor's is considered undergraduate. If it is, don't come for me. Like, I don't know the verbiage and the difference. So, but I want to start with an associate's degree because, like I said, it's intimidating. I have a lot of experience. And when I talk to people, they're like, you're so well spoken. And I don't even have a fucking associate's degree. Granted, I'm like 2 classes away from one, but I do not have one. But I have a lot of random knowledge. And I've noticed that the military provides you with a lot of random shit that you would think the basic human being would know, but they don't. So be grateful for that random knowledge. So a benefit in New York State, definitely education benefits, which is amazing. So that's 3 different sets that you get, and the 2 sets are federal. So the GI Bill, vocational rehab, if you get approved for vocational rehab, it's not a benefit that everybody receives. So you need to have a minimum of 10% disability. And then you go through a whole interrogation process. And if they decide you're suitable for that program to help you find a new career field, they will take you in and they'll kind of mold you and see what works for you. And I'm currently going through the process right now, so we'll see. But Even if that didn't work, you also have the New York State benefits of having tuition. Now, when the New York State benefits, you will not get BAH. They'll pay for your schooling, but they won't pay for your BAH. So keep that in mind as well. You can get veteran custom license plates. Honestly, I don't know what the benefit is of it besides it being a conversation starter. I have veteran plates that I know of. There's no benefit of it. Now, if you have 100% permanent total, some states will award you a disability plate. In New York State, you need to already have a disability plate before they will give you a disability sign on your license plate of your veteran thing. So pretty much you would have to go to your primary care provider with the paperwork from DMV, preferably the VA, because they're a little bit more knowledgeable of disability. I don't know if a civilian provider would be too knowledgeable of you want a handicap sticker, but you look completely fine. So possibly it would be better if you go to the VA with the DMV paperwork and see if they'll sign off for you to get a handicap disability plate. If not, you can get veteran plates and it just says that you're a veteran and the branch that you served. So I'll have like the signage. I have the signage of the Navy. There was this super fucking Puerto Rican dude that passed by my car and he thought it was a rooster. And I'm Puerto Rican, so I'm not being fucking racist by any means, but I bursted out laughing. I was like, you're so fucking Puerto Rican. But no, it's not a rooster on my car. It is the Navy signage or logo, whatever you want to call it. So you can also get your license and it'll say veteran on it. And with that, I would definitely say you can get some discounts on stores. I don't have a list of stores that provides discounts in New York. I will say that they have expanded. Because when I first joined and I would come home to visit my family, I would go to certain stores and I would be like, hey, do you provide military discount? They're like, no, like literally like the face they put was like, no, bitch. But their answer was no. And I'm like, damn, I'm just asking if you have fucking military discount. Like I'm broke. But they have been expanding. Like I went to the mall the other day with my mom and for the fuck of it, I was just like, do you guys provide military discount or veteran discount? And it was Finish Line and they provided 20%. I was like, fuck yes, I will take that 20% because I was buying my mom a pair of sneakers for her birthday. So you also get for your cell phone bills. If you're active duty right now, make sure you speak to them now while you're in, because I think the percentage might be a little higher, but you do get 20% off your phone bill for being a veteran, which is pretty fucking awesome. Some places, I know some airlines offer like 5%, and I don't even think that's the fucking taxes. So, I mean, you could do it if you want, but it's very disrespectful because I want to travel and 5% is not going to do shit for me. But airlines offer stuff. Another thing, I know we were talking about just state, but ID.me. So ID.me, you could do as active duty, as veteran, as a firefighter, as a teacher, and as a student. And they pretty much, when you're initially starting your profile, it'll ask you for your documentation. So I don't know, like your teacher ID or your DD-214 or your active duty. You're not supposed to be providing any photocopies of your active duty ID if you didn't know that, but don't do that stupid shit. But you could provide other ways to prove that you're in the armed forces, and it automatically connects to certain websites. So if you go on the page, you go on the website, it's ID.me, and it actually verifies your, you could verify va.gov as well on there. So you could verify va.gov. You could get the discounts for like Foot Locker and Finish Line, the Stanley Cup for you guys with the Stanley Cup craze. I'm not even going to get with that, but just so you guys know, that shit's been around for years. And my dad was a union worker and he used to have the Stanley Cup thermos. Is that what it's called? A thermos? He would have that for his coffee. And now you guys are walking around like that shit is new. That shit's been around for a long fucking time. And I won't speak negatively on it because I don't want to like get a lawsuit or something. But there's other good stuff too. The Yeti cup is really good. We used to use the Hydro Flask in Bahrain, and that was in 2013. In 130-degree weather, I would still have ice cold water. So the Stanley Cup isn't like brain surgery. It's nothing new. All right. What are the other disability benefits? So we talked about custom plates. We talked about, there's a few scholarships as well, but you guys could look into that. One thing I do want to say is if you are planning to move to New York or any state, look at the state website. So the state website will provide you with everything you need to know. They also help with assistance on filing your disability claim. Obviously, you could do that at the VA with the VSO, but New York State Department of License, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's Department of License, which is the employment department. They will provide you with ways to, excuse me, they'll provide you with information on how to file your disability claim, and they will help you file it as well. So I had talked about the Liberty Pass. I don't know if I said you need to be 40% disabled or higher. So it's not, oh, I'm a veteran and you get the lifetime disability pass. You need to have 40% or higher for that one. If I didn't speak about it before, sorry. And if you want to apply for that, it's going to be parks.ny.gov. So parks.ny.gov is where you would get your National Park Pass and the Lifetime Park Pass. And it also tell you all the parks that are available and all the little free things you can do that you can go into. It is the winter. And I've noticed that a lot of parks are closed, but you can try to see if certain parks would be open. I know a lot of camping is closed and some of it doesn't open till springtime. I know other states do winter camping. I wish New York did, but a lot of parks don't do winter camping over here. Spoke about the tuition award. This I'm going to speak about really briefly because I don't know all the information I would like to know about it. But you already have the VA loan. That's already something that you get from being a veteran, and that you do not need to have a disability rating for that. Everyone qualifies for a VA loan. If you have a dishonorable discharge, you're not really considered a veteran. So you don't really qualify for these benefits. However, there is this, let me look it up really quick. Discharge upgrade. I don't know too much about it, but it depends on why you have a dishonorable discharge. You can't go off fucking shooting somebody because you felt like it and then want to get an upgrade to a gold service medal or some shit because you feel like it. But if you did get a dishonorable discharge due to, I'll read them off, like military sexual trauma, or you had PTSD, or you had a traumatic brain injury and it caused you to act out and you did something, you can get an upgrade from the discharge that you have. You would have to contact the VA. I know the New York has people as well that you could contact them. The number is actually 1-888-838-7697. And that's the Veterans Service for New York State. So keep that in mind as well. Like I said, if it has to do with something stupid like you were drinking and driving and you got a dishonorable discharge, that's a little different. But if you got into a fight or you, like I said, acted out because you may have PTSD from your military sexual trauma, there's a possibility that you can definitely move it up to a other than honorable discharge. So always keep that in mind. And there's always light at the end of the tunnel. If something did happen, you just need to educate yourself. All right, guys. So thank you guys so much for tuning in today. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Definitely share this information with people, especially now that the Navy is accepting people without a high school diploma. So, this should be very interesting that it just came out. They're accepting people without high school diplomas, and you don't need to have a GED either. So good luck, future sailors. But if this message correlates with you, just go ahead and share, subscribe, like, and tell people about the podcast. And hopefully we could build this beautiful community of like people just really being okay and comfortable with getting out the military and knowing they'll be okay. Because when I wanted to get out the military, or I would tell people, like, misery really does love company. And they would be like, you're not going to fucking do anything when you get out the military. Like, what are you supposed to do? Bitch, live my life. Like, I'm going to do shit. So even if you're at 16, 18 years, there's a way. There's a lot of benefits. And if you just feel like it's time for a new chapter in your life, the sky's the limit. There's a lot of different things you could do. But you guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I will see you guys next week. And go ahead and share. Have a good night.